Please don't hit my phone if it ain't about no commas. Greetings, Capricorn, all placements. This is Motivate by J. Cole. Motivate. So some of you guys are just feeling really motivated. Now, I will say, when I was driving home from acupuncture earlier today, I'm so frustrated because I meant to write it down, but I didn't write it down. I was behind this truck that said something like, jolly goat or something. They didn't say jolly, but it said something like that, like joyful goat, jolly goat. I don't know. It was like a really powerful, positive thing. And I don't know, a lot of my Capricorns, when you wish upon a star, there's something, a wish is coming true. Something is coming true. Something is coming to you. And I was also hearing, I'm a sucker for pain, that song. So some of you guys, you are, a sucker for pain, a glutton for pain. Some of you guys absolutely choose the hard road. But you know what the thing is? When you choose the hard road, slow and steady wins the race, Capricorn. Your victories are everlasting melody. Oh my gosh, I'm hearing that. Okay, we sang that in choir in like middle school. I don't know. Something is going to be an everlasting melody, an everlasting win, an everlasting victory. It's like you're not here for the short win, the quick win. A lot of people may have won battles against you, but you're going to win the whole war. There's something like that. You have algaes, Elhaz, and runes. This is the protective rune. It's elk antlers. Some of you guys actually have my protective elk antlers. Fun story, actually. I was hiking in the, it's a huge wildlife refuge where I live. And there's this part of it that's kind of dangerous. People have gotten lost there and never been found, things like that. It's really confusing too, because whenever you climb through certain valleys and stuff, first of all, it's a total dead zone. Second of all, there is a lot of wildlife out there. But third of all, it's like all rocks and the little mountains out there. It's like a rock garden. You can climb down one and see the next one and think that it's one, but it's actually a different one. So you can get really confused and twisted in what direction you're facing. So some of my Capricorns, you could have gotten a little lost on your way, but it wasn't really being lost. It was God slowing something down and slowing you down because there were lessons along the way that you needed. So it's like, okay, if a lot of my Capricorns say you get married, but then you get divorced and you never thought you'd get divorced. Some of my Capricorns, maybe you never got married. You always saw yourself getting married and you are at a certain age and it's just not happening for you. Maybe some of my Capricorns, you thought you were going to have kids and now you've reached your 40s and you're like, I guess I'm not going to have kids. No, you still are. There's something here. I have many yoga friends who had their first child at 43, 46, even one at 47. So don't think that you can't because you hit a certain age or something like that, because there is some sort of miracle here for you. There's something about doing it right the last time, and this next time it's going to be the last time or something. I don't know. There's something about getting lost, but it's like you have to, because God doesn't want you to get your victory until something is perfected. It's like if you are not mastered enough at your craft before you reach a certain victory, you'll mess it up for yourself. Like you literally will mess it up. It's like for my Capricorns who never got married, it's like you would have messed it up. For my Capricorns who got divorced, that was a blessing, because if you didn't get divorced, like it would have totally been a huge downfall for you, and it would have wrecked you from meeting, your next partner who you are going to croak with, kind of thing. So yeah, elk antlers, it's luck, it's finding your sanctuary. This is having to tune in to your higher self, which, I always go into a really deep meditative state when I go into acupuncture. My acupuncturist and I just have a really cool relationship. I usually stay on the table with all the needles in me for like 2 to 2.5 hours. And to my knowledge, from what I've observed, no other clients stay that long or have sessions that are that long. And I've been working with this acupuncturist for 7 years. A few years of that, whenever I lived out of state, wasn't working with him then. However, we just have a really good rapport. So some of my Capricorns, you could need to do acupuncture. I have some incredible, incredible visions. Totally sober, just the needles and me tuning in, really powerful. And today's session was probably the most potent one yet, and a lot of things were shown to me. So a lot of my Capricorns at this time, you can be extra psychic, extra intuitive, if you prefer that word, or your instincts are really strong. If you still want to avoid spiritual gifts or whatever, you don't want to fully admit to that, that's fine. It's real. Anywho, there is an alignment that you are coming into. I don't know, there's a good omen. You could be strengthening your legs. If you haven't been, then you need to. Squats, lunges, cycling, walking, you know, as a lot of you guys have seen by now, I love pole. That's my favorite fitness other than riding the horses, but pole makes me a much better equestrian for my horses. So core, legs, back muscles, all of it. There's something about banishing fear at this time, like realizing that fear is the devil, and Capricorn, your sign in the tarot is the devil. So that's also why a lot of my Capricorns, you kind of choose the hard road. Winning without a need to fight. So it's funny because your antlers will terrorize your enemies and repel evil. A new career is on the horizon for a lot of my Capricorns. A message can be coming to you. Wunjo is all about finding your community. A lot of my Capricorns, you can feel like you've been the lone goat. You know, whenever we see goats climbing the mountains, they are usually pretty lonely. I'm so lonely, oh so lonely. I'm hearing that song. Is that Akon? But yeah, a lot of my Capricorns, you can feel like you've been pretty lonely on this path. But it's because, as I have also described many times in these readings, God needs your canvas to be your colors and nobody else's. You know, when we have a blank canvas, you are all of the watercolors of the people around you. So if you're hanging out with this person, and you know their paintbrushes on your canvas, it's going to bleed and mix into yours. And God is like, I need your message to be pure. I need you to be purified. I need just you, just the white paper, only your paintbrushes, only the colors that I've assigned to you. And so for a lot of my Capricorns, you could have been walking a lonely path for quite some time, but you know, you are now coming into a state of harmony. This is also about unifying your opposition, the sun and the moon, finding your internal yin and yang, realizing the juxtaposition in the harmonies between opposites, rather than being like, oh, you hypocrite, I thought you were da-da-da-da, rather than da-da, I thought you were this. It's like understanding that two opposite truths can coexist at once, just like the sun and the moon. They are a perfect pair, even though they don't exist at the same time. They serve different purposes, yet together there is a wholesomeness to that. So for a lot of my Capricorns, you know, you could have thought previously that you are protecting yourself by blocking something out, by just shutting something down, and that's not healing it at all. Avoidance is not healing. Let me be very clear about that. Blocking someone, avoiding someone, that is not healing in any way, shape, or form. Sure, sometimes we need that for a short period of time until we can actually get to a place of having more compassion and understanding and not taking someone else's crap personally, and being able to actually work through something and accept differences rather than try and assimilate or force someone into our beliefs and tell them that they're wrong, when two opposite beliefs can coexist at once. For a lot of my Capricorns, that is the harmony, that is the healing that you need. There's also, this is banishing the alienation period or imposter syndrome. A healthy community and functional friends and family is coming towards you. However, it doesn't happen because there's perfect peace and harmony. It happens because you have an acceptance of opposition. And until you can get to the acceptance of opposition, you know, it's not going to happen. But for a lot of my Capricorns, it is happening at this time. Yeah, especially the Eight of Wands and the Star card. A lot of my Capricorns, you are meant to have success in marriage, success in travel, success online, success in sports. Some of my Capricorns, you can kind of feel nervous about this. Someone is also becoming really clear with the Queen of Swords and the Lovers, what they need, what their path is, what their life purpose is. It's like every career before now has only been pruning you and priming you for this next thing. And so many people want to try and tell you that you're not meant for this or that you weren't made out to this, but that's just fear. That's just the devil trying to get in your ear and take you off your path. Something is a wish fulfillment for you, but it's going to tick off other people. People are just trying to make you doubt yourself because it's like they already see you have the star quality, the star, the Ace of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles. Literally, it's all here, Capricorn, and you can have it all with an Aries. You could meet this person in August. You guys could definitely be at a distance from each other. This is also a job opportunity of a lifetime. I'm hearing that song, A Moment Like This. Some people wait a lifetime. Some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this. But you didn't wait, Capricorn. You like chiseled yourself. You went through all the hard, barren, rocky ground. My point with the hiking message earlier, though, was I got lost on this hike. It was nighttime. I found those antlers, and then I found two little kids that were also lost. And when I found the kids and I found the antlers, I like magically found our way back. And I don't know, I basically like saved these kids, but I felt like I was meant to get lost so that I could find them. But when I found those antlers over here, hold on. When I found this antler shed, it was like this newfound sense of just comfort. I just knew God was with me. I just knew God was with me.